60 units per minute. That's how fast the Instant Pot moved off shelves at its peak. The product never failed. Customers loved it so much they rarely needed a replacement. Yet in June 2023, the company filed for bankruptcy, with under $500 million in debt it never created. No one explained how or what it means for millions who still own one. That story starts in Ottawa. In 2010, Robert Wang stood at his kitchen table in Ottawa, determined to solve a problem most home cooks did not know they had. A former Nortel engineer with a PhD in computer science, Wang invested $300,000 of his own savings and 18 months of trial and error to create a programmable pressure cooker that could saute, slow cook, and steam all in one. He launched the first Instant Pot on Amazon for $140, skipping television ads and glossy magazine spreads. Instead, Wang combed through every Amazon review, sometimes thousands per model, and tweaked the design based on direct customer feedback. Word of mouth did the rest. The real spark, though, came from the community. By 2018, the official Instant Pot Facebook group had ballooned to 1.6 million followers. Dozens of unofficial groups added millions more, with fans swapping recipes, troubleshooting tips, and stories of weeknight dinners saved by a single button press. Influencers and YouTube cooks embraced the device, posting challenge videos and meal hacks that rippled across social media. The result was a feedback loop. The more people used and talked about the Instant Pot, the more others wanted in. Momentum built quickly. On Thanksgiving Day, 2018, Kohl's reported selling 60 Instant Pots every minute during its online sale, a number confirmed by the CEO on national television. That single day pushed hundreds of thousands of units into kitchens across North America, cementing the Instant Pot as a holiday sensation and a fixture in the modern home. By the end of the decade, the Instant Pot had become not just a gadget, but a cultural phenomenon, one built on trust, durability, and the collective enthusiasm of its owners. Cornell Capital entered the picture in 2019, acquiring Instant Brands for $615 million, a figure that would later be revealed as inflated by $273 million. Within months of the deal, an internal audit uncovered that the company's 2018 earnings had been overstated, but the damage had already been done. The purchase was mostly financed with borrowed money, but that was only the beginning. In April 2021, Cornell Capital orchestrated a $450 million term loan, secured against the brand's intellectual property, inventory, and receivables. This was not a loan to expand the business or fund new products. Instead, almost immediately after the money arrived, $345 million was paid out as a special dividend to Cornell Capital, its co-investors, the original sellers, and senior management. This move, known as a dividend recap, pulled cash out of the company and shifted risk onto the business itself. The result was a balance sheet loaded with debt and stripped of cash reserves. The new capital structure left Instant Brands with more than $500 million in debt and little flexibility to weather any downturn. The company, once thriving on the strength of its community and product reliability, now faced the pressure of meeting steep interest payments and restrictive loan covenants. The durable Instant Pot, built to last for years, became a liability in a business model that suddenly depended on rapid, repeated sales. As demand cooled after the pandemic and replacement cycles slowed, the company's financial vulnerability was laid bare. Sales of multi-cookers soared to $758 million in 2020, but the pandemic boom faded fast. By 2022, the category had shrunk to $344 million, a drop of more than half in just 2 years. Instant Pot, once the undisputed leader, saw its own revenue tumble quarter after quarter. 7 straight quarters of declining sales followed, each one steeper than the last. The company's balance sheet told the story: $17.9 million in operating cash flow in the first quarter of 2023, set against a debt load of roughly $510 million. The math did not work. Cash reserves dwindled, while interest payments and loan covenants loomed over every decision. Industry reports from NPD and coverage in the Wall Street Journal made the crisis impossible to ignore. The durable design that had made the Instant Pot a household staple now worked against the business. Owners did not need replacements, and new buyers were harder to find as the kitchen gadget craze cooled. The company was left with too much inventory, too little demand, and no margin for error. On June 12, 2023, Instant Brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in the Southern District of Texas. The filing described a business loaded with debt it could never repay. For millions of Instant Pot owners, the news brought a wave of uncertainty about what would happen next, whether their machines would keep working, and whether anyone would stand behind the warranty if something went wrong. Center Lane Partners stepped in as the new owner after a competitive bankruptcy auction in the fall of 2023. The court approved Center Lane's bid, citing it as the strongest option for keeping the Instant Pot business running and protecting the interests of suppliers and customers. The deal closed on November 8, 2023, officially transferring the appliance assets, including patents, inventory, and manufacturing contracts, into new hands. Center Lane took over without assuming responsibility for the massive debts left behind by the previous regime. With the sale finalized, the legal entity behind the brand was renamed Instant Pot Brands on February 23, 2024. This new company structure wiped out the old equity holders and gave full ownership to the lenders who had financed the term loans. The Housewares division, including brands like Pyrex and Corel, was separated and now operates under a different entity, ending the cross-promotions that had bundled these names together in the past. Attention quickly turned to leadership. In April 2024, Instant Pot Brands named Chris Robbins as Chief Executive Officer. Robbins, with experience on the board at Newell Brands, brought in a team of industry veterans. Craig Kerrigan as Chief Financial Officer, Lisa Cronish as Chief Human Resources Officer, and Rudy Sumarli to lead supply chain and research and development. Each executive had a background in large-scale consumer goods, signaling a plan to focus on operational discipline and product reliability. The company's headquarters were relocated to Downers Grove, Illinois, and new manufacturing agreements were struck with suppliers in China to stabilize inventory and reduce costs. The new regime inherits a brand still trusted by millions, but now answers to a different set of owners and faces the challenge of restoring consumer confidence while managing the aftershocks of the bankruptcy. For anyone with an Instant Pot on the counter, a few details matter right now. The official warranty is now managed by Instant Pot Brands, the new entity formed after bankruptcy. If your unit was bought before April 2024, you will need to register it on the company's website and keep your purchase receipt. Claims go through the new warranty portal, not the old customer service line. Replacement parts, like sealing rings and inner pots, are still stocked by major retailers and the official store, but the supply chain is now overseen by the new ownership. For smart models that rely on the Instant Pot app, continued cloud service is not guaranteed. Owners should export saved recipes and keep the app updated, but be prepared to switch to manual controls if online features are discontinued. Staying connected with active user groups can provide early warnings about any changes. The Instant Pot story fits a pattern seen across the home appliance industry, a pattern where private equity firms use heavy borrowing and rapid cash extraction to the detriment of the brands they acquire. Crock-Pot, Mr. Coffee, and Sunbeam all followed similar trajectories. Acquired at high prices, loaded with debt, then forced to pay out large special dividends to their new owners. Each was left with a debt burden that could not withstand a slowdown, leading to shrinking product lines, asset sales, or bankruptcy filings. Academic research from the National Bureau of Economic Research found that after a private equity buyout, a company's risk of bankruptcy rises by 22 percentage points. In Instant Pot's case, that risk became reality. The bankruptcy trustee has now filed suit against Cornell Capital and more than 20 co-defendants, alleging that the dividend of $345 million drained Instant Brands into insolvency. The legal action seeks to recover hundreds of millions for creditors, arguing that the extraction was not just aggressive, but reckless. The same financial engineering that toppled Instant Pot continues to threaten other familiar brands, raising urgent questions about who is left to pick up the pieces when these deals unravel. Today, millions still rely on their Instant Pots, but warranties and software support now depend on new owners, not the engineers who built trust. As private equity reshapes household brands, consumer risk quietly grows. The product never failed. It is the system that left owners holding the uncertainty. Share your experience below.